What is going on today, guys? Hope you guys are doing fantabulous, because I know I am. What's up, Charlie? Been a minute, man. How you doing? Hope you're doing well, buddy. You've been a long time. What's up, Amir? A giveaway? I don't do giveaways, man. I don't even know what to give away. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's crashing. I'll say that. It is crashing. And, well, not crashing. I don't know. I mean, let's not waste your time. So, I always appreciate you guys smashing the like button. And, if you were to, let's see here. So, this is the thing. This technical target around 70K, if you were to break from that area, which it looks like you could be. Here you were okay in April. You're okay in 2024. And now, voila. End of the year, blood diamond, government shutdown. We don't know when exactly that'll end. I was talking to some smart people earlier. They're thinking next week, but no one really knows. Markets keep coming down. I don't even know if the government reopening and things are getting, the one thing I want to say about this government shutdown is things are getting more and more, what's the word, polarized, Civil War-esque, as, that's the pattern towards the end of the empire, populist and all that. And you're going to see more internal conflicts like this. I mean, is this the longest government shutdown ever? You're going to see more of this stuff go down. You know what I mean? More of these, kind of conflicts. So yeah. And I just want to look at the odds for government shutdown ending. The majority thinks after November 16th. So yeah, who knows? This could go on. It'll eventually probably reopen. I wonder if this really gets extended, say out until like December, January, or whatever. If this really, it could crash the damn market too. But it would be more of an obvious. You'll get some relief when it, does kind of open. Or maybe this is the end of the empire as we know it. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's get into, a couple more things here. I want to, let me just, see my the chat and all that. Okay. No, not okay. So yeah, a little bit early for some of you guys. I know Crypto Face just went live. I didn't realize he was going live. I probably would have waited or whatever, but it is what it is. Let's get into it here. So sometimes when I do these more I'll do probably we'll do. You know what I want to do? Assuming you guys show up, I'll do in the Discord. We'll do a chat with you guys. After this in the VIP Discord. I know some of you guys would like to ask me questions. But nah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think if you lose 31, you're probably going to go down to 27, unfortunately. The odds are pretty high of going down to 3,000 in these areas. On the bright side, though, ETH did bottom before Bitcoin last time. So I could actually see this bottoming like quicker than a lot of people think because, if this goes back to like 2000 or whatever, yeah, everybody's saying it's going back to 1300 or wherever, and it may not be that as catastrophic as some may think. Keep that in mind, especially if ETH could hold up against Bitcoin, which it's probably not doing so at the moment, no. But in Bitcoin dominance is going up too. But if you look at the last time they ended QT, go all the way back, one more jump up there. So, maybe a jump up to 64, back up to 63, and then that could be it. And then some of your, I'll just say Ethereum for now. We'll keep it safe. Ethereum could outperform Bitcoin, throughout this kind of bear market, this 4 to 6 month or 8 month bear market that I think we're already in, with this kind of drop down, with losing, 108 kind of. And that's what I've talked about. You rip the Band-Aid off quick. To be completely transparent with you guys, your boy may or may not have panic sold some of his Ethereum, yesterday at like 3,400 or 33 something, but it is what it is. And I'm just looking for good deals, man. And I see some good deals on your Bitcoin ETH evaluate things that could, at least temporarily outperform Bitcoin ETH for next, 6 to 8 months or whatever. Mid 2026 is where I'm really looking to, you know, make some serious moves, and that's just the facts. That's just the facts of it all. And the thing here is like I'm sorry that I don't really regret saying, to be honest with you guys, there was a strong case to be made for 5,800 by now. I don't regret talking about that. I really don't, because it's all a game of probability. You just got to take what the market gives you, man. You got to take what she gives you, and then you just got to be objective with it. And not every call is going to be right, but the majority of them have been. I mean, I was bullish over here. I was bullish over here. I was bullish over here. I was bearish over here. I was bearish over here. It's the joke. Yeah, I was bearish before I kind of jumped up, but being kind of honest. But I don't think I'll make that many mistakes this time. We'll see. Yeah, really appreciate you guys smashing the likes and all that. Get a nice big trade up here. I'm looking for like 96. That's the next kind of big point. The thing here is kind of, people are talking, you came down to like these, you're making lower lows right now, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or almost. Oh, I didn't even realize, okay, we technically didn't even make the newer. I think we will. It is a Friday. We probably will make the lower lows. I mean, unless you could somehow jump off at this point, but yeah. I'm curious what are funding rates right now? TapBit. Okay, so slightly positive, nothing too major. And then Airbnb's moving. Let's actually take a look at that. That could be one of those where it's like, I mean, I don't know if the profitability of this company or anything like that, but slightly upward from 21 when it came out. I mean, anyway, what's up, Jay Sherlock? Happy Friday, man. Happy Friday. Oh, Zcash, look, I don't know what this is going to do, but it's overheated as hell. I will say that. Eventually will dump. This is acting like a freaking meme coin. Who would have guessed it was Zcash? But yeah, that's the thing there, I will say. So yeah. So we looked at that. Yeah, that should. I mean, the thing, I would say 2-day bear div, when that does kind of form, probably within a few days, could be a good short opportunity. Potentially Monday could be a good short opportunity on this. Be careful though, a lot of people have probably been trying to short this without much success. So never underestimate the degenerates. This thing has pumped with not even good news. I don't know what the frick is. Weird. But yeah. And when you look at this on ETH, those areas, it does look like you could jump here on ETH Bitcoin, but be careful. It is a scary time for these markets. If we look at 3 week here, that's generally been down, I mean, I think you should, bottom relatively soon or hit, yeah, but you could drop back down a little bit here. Could drop back down a little bit. Now, what do we see from our all-time high in ETH that we recently made? Adjusting for inflation, ETH has still not made a new all-time high this cycle, which is kind of sad, but oh well. 38% down. Bitcoin's at what, 20%? So nothing too bad. If you were to go down to 70K, now you're talking good deals almost. Now you're finally talking about like good deals. Everybody on Twitter was like, "Oh man, I bought the dip at 115, man. Bought the dip at 115. Genius." Bought the dip at 150. 8% now, but people have talked about buying the dip, low hundreds, 18% down, but that's not that good of a deal. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think. If you think it's going to be like one of these, then maybe, but I think you're looking at least 40 per, 45 is like where you start to get into good deal territory. When you're starting to get into very good deal territory, it's like below 60. When you get into like on sale territory, like, 50, high 40s, real good deal. Incredible deal would be anything 40 or below. That would be just incredible deal if we can get there. I don't know if we're going to get there, but we'll see. So yeah. Oh, you can't see the trade? No, trade's down here. I am shorting this market. We'll see what happens. It's a pretty large position. Maybe we jump here, but I don't think so. I kind of think she's got more downward action to go in these volatile times a little bit. Now, the thing that I was thinking about too, guys, I was kind of comparing this a little bit to, so here is your peak in November. So it's about a month later than this peak. About a month later. And then a month after that, little less than a month after that, you had like a big, and I don't know, yeah, if you guys remember this was like post-Thanksgiving dump. So about a month after, yeah, you may have a dump down to 96. You know, that situation there. You know, if we look at this, now this was 38% down. Now, I don't know if it's going to be that catastrophic. Maybe it's just 30. But 30 would be still bad, 88. 25 is about 94. So 94, 96 could be, factoring in some diminished returns, 94, 96 is kind of a big place right there. So, yeah. Curious about, so I've talked about Berkshire Hathaway. I like how that looks against the SPY, against the triple Q, because, you know, I mean, they're holding a lot of cash and the boring stuff. Like the Moody's, man. What a stupid name, Moody's. What a for the railroad. It just sounds so old. Like old people are into railroads, man. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like old people are into railroads. For our celebration, yeah, 115. Yeah, but I because nobody in the U.S. is into trains or rides on trains like that. Even I guess old people in the U.S. used to ride on trains. I mean, you kind of ride on trains when you're in good, you know, Japan. There's the bullet train. You know, train. I don't know, man. Now we're coming up. Maybe here's the jump. We'll see. I don't know. It gets a little bit harder as you come into the weekend, as you guys probably know. Why do we have some girls? It's just a small dump. How do they do their analysis? Well, there are a lot of people saying that are fully on fundamentals. I mean, I think the main argument for that, I don't want to make fun of it. They could be right. No, I don't. I have no clue what's going to happen, guys. But I think the case on that is when the government shutdown ends, you know, gold goes down, that money goes into Bitcoin, then we go into super cycle. That's the, you know, I mean, you got 6 weeks to make a new all-time high. 7 weeks to make a new all-time high. I mean, that's going to be tough. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's unlikely. You know what I mean? I think that, and you get usually an end-of-year tax season sell-off most of the time, too. You know, people need to take money to pay their taxes and other crap, and, you know, you kind of get that situation. So, yeah. The 50 EMA, yeah. I think, too, we're about to get the death cross. And, I mean, some of the death crosses do, you know, in the bear markets lead to, you know, the end. And we don't even need to look at it. We could just look at, like, Market Cipher EMA ribbons here. So they're all still pretty good. They're still pretty bright. Now, you got your 2-day. All right, so 2-day, they are all gray. You notice that here. Now, when's the last time that happened? Happened here. There's some fear there. It got very choppy here. Happened in 2024. That was a boring situation for a few months. Then you recovered. It happened before that in August 23. And then the previous time, before that, okay, you came into the green, April 22, but it was all done. And then all done here, you know, that December, you know, you were kind of all done. This was the marker where you were all done. This wasn't, I mean, it's not every time. It's not, I mean, and we'll get in the coming weeks probably more, you know, I mean, you could even look at let's look at the 3-week. That's probably, but yeah, much better indication because it didn't get bright there. These EMAs are pretty good, guys. I mean, here it got gray, here it got gray. They were false flags. Here it's almost, you know, you got maybe a week. Yeah, you're hanging on by a thread there. So if we compare it to that situation, you probably will go into the grays unless we recover very rapidly. I would say we would need to be back at above 108K within a week, which I don't know if that's going to happen. It could happen. I don't know, but you know, you compare it to you know 2019, end of 2019, kind of that area. A lot of volatility there. And in this situation there, let's go, I'm too lazy to go all the way back, but to the previous cycle, I'd have to open a different chart. But yeah, I mean, you get the point here. I mean, it's a pretty decent, here was a pretty good indication. That 3-day to that end there, that January 20th, that's a good, these EMAs don't lie, not too often. So the thing here is like, you could plan on waiting 6 to 8 months or just plan on getting back in when these damn EMAs on the 3-day, assuming they turn gray, which they very likely will, turn bright again, well, Awesome Mystic, most of the time, yes, but not at the end of the post-halvening years. I could put it up if you guys really want me to. The 50 and the, was it 50 in the 50 daily, 200 daily, 50 daily EMAs? I could put them up. Give me a second. It's the, I don't even have that one there, but anyway, I'm too lazy. I'm not going to do it, but no, there are plenty of times, especially starts of bear markets where it continued to go down. There are plenty of times, especially when your macro looks so bad. And the other thing too, guys, for getting back in, at minimum, I would be looking at trigger waves on the 2-week at minimum. I'll tell you that much, at minimum. Sultan, I think if we can hold 100 here, which doesn't look the most likely scenario, I think people are, it's a Friday too. Sometimes people act erratically too on Fridays. You did have a full moon a few days ago, but I don't really care about that. Sometimes they act erratically, go down to 96 and 97. Yeah, I mean, I think you could jump up back to 108, but I don't know. I don't even know if once you get into bear market, it gets more. I mean, they get on their hind legs sometimes, but these bears, they stay low too. You know what I mean? It's not a very predictable animal. The bull can't get in its hind legs. I don't think it can. Not really. It can't jump. Bear has more agility. Yeah, bear is definitely more dangerous than a bull. It's up to panda bear. I don't think a panda bear is very. The thing is just. I don't really think a panda bear, but it probably could bite and scratch you, but. It's probably a smaller bear too. So yeah. Your grandpa had a model train. Those are cool. Yeah, the model train. I was talking about trains that you go on. You actually ride for transportation. But yeah, I had one when I was a kid. Yeah. ETH Bitcoin there. Yeah, I mean, we could try to, see, wait and see what happens here. I think okay, let's talk about tech and all this crap. We got one hour before regular markets open. This may bounce here. If this keeps going down, straight down, Michael Burry got it right to the T. He's due to be right. The guy's been wrong so freaking much. I mean, so yeah. Awesome Mystic. Well, let's look at that. Let's look at your risk reward ratio with that. That's a good question. So if you were to do, say you got in at 120, which is really good. If you actually got in there, kudos to you. You probably had a stop loss, I would assume, above 125, maybe around here or something, I would guess. You're already at a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio, almost 96. That's a 5-to-1 there. I think trying to short down to 50K is a little greedy. I would be scaling out, probably starting at, like, I mean, not many 6-to-1 risk reward, like maybe here, 80, start to scale, take some profits at 80, lock in profits, take more at like 70, 60. I would do it like that, maybe. No right or wrong way to do it, you know. I mean, I would say whatever you do, you know, don't either set a stop loss and profit or something, or, you know, don't let this turn backwards on you. Yeah, we don't know we're going to 50K. Yeah, I mean, if I had to guess, like, honestly, like, if I had to guess how low she will go, like, I would guess 48K. If I had to guess, I would probably guess 48K. I want to look at Bitcoin versus the DXY here. And I've been saying 48K for a while. Actually, this is interesting, too. Let's look at this on... if there's any differences on the EMAs. No, it's pretty much the same on those. But what was I gonna say? Look at it here. So yeah, so bear 80%, and 80% against the DXY. Factor inflation was an 80% drop. You know, let's say it's 75 here, which is about 5% better. It's been 5% better, you know, every give or take. And that would be at the lows of here. That would be at like 30K. But what is 30K? What was 30K in 21? We need an inflation calculator. You know, what was 30K in... yeah, what was 30K in 2021 worth today? What was 30K in 2021 worth today for inflation? Probably, I would say 35 maybe. 35, I got it right in the dot. Yeah, 35. So that would be 35, and we could look at, you know, what's at 35. And I know the people who really like Bitcoin are going to hate me right now, but you know, bear with me. Yeah, there's some stuff there. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be... that'd probably be my absolute low of where she could end up. And you'd probably need some institutions to get scared and sell and do other crap and bad things to... I mean, we could go... on Polymarket, the odds of a recession are 60%. For 2026. Now there's probably not many people putting money on that even. That could easily change. I kind of don't think you're going to go into a recession. I think that's a few more years away at least, but recession by end. Oh, okay, Ford, this has been moving. This is just nobody. This is just this market. No one's even putting money on this. Yeah, the volume is crap. I think that's low volume, but yeah. I would say that's probably the odds. Most likely not. Dems are going to take the House, looks like. Yeah, I mean, it's a year away, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting what happens with New York Mayor. So, yeah, let's see. I think you want to call, yeah, 103, 102 are important. I don't know if you're going to do it. I haven't been following Sailor's, what the hell he's been doing. Can any of you guys fill me in if it's not too much work on your end? Like, where's his liquidation points? Where's his margin call points? We don't really know that, but like, what is his average buy right now? Is it 60 or 70K? Like, I want to, like, we don't know the details on this. The thing is, he got lucky. I feel like he's pushing his luck a little bit too far. You know what I mean? Because he made it. You know, he really showed us the genius. When I met Michael Saylor, I looked at Michael Saylor. Probably didn't make eye contact with him because I was too nervous or whatever. But I said to Michael Saylor, "How does it feel to be a genius?" And he said back to me, "Why?" I'm not trying to make fun of him. That's actually how he sounds. No, I like Michael Saylor. But what was I gonna say here? He may be pushing his luck a little bit too much. If you look at MicroStrategy versus Bitcoin, the thing with that, I would be careful with MicroStrategy. I mean, I would not be buying this anytime soon. But I want to look at that against ETH too, because this time it bled 80% here from, and it topped in the beginning of 21 and then bottomed about a year and a half later, May of 22, against Bitcoin. And I mean, if you got in around there, you would still be up 184% against Bitcoin. Not a bad play, not a bad play. But right here, this looks like it may try to bounce down 57% already. So if it's going to be a full 80% again, and it kind of looks like it may be going back to those areas on your Bitcoin pair, but I don't know. I would think people would get spooked, unless Bitcoin jumps here pretty big. Average 74K. I think he's going in the red. I mean, basic logic would tell you that your boy's going in the red a little bit here. I mean, what you don't even need to go down that far to get to 74K. It's only 40%. That's nothing for crypto. I mean, it's nothing. I was talking to somebody the other week that bet 25K on one individual trade and just lost it all. I think he was going long on Pepe before the October dump. That's always how it is. I was in a Twitter Spaces earlier today, or yesterday for you guys in the West. And what was I gonna say? Damn it, what was I gonna say? For those in the West, and somebody was saying like, oh, whenever I travel, the price moves a lot, and I said no. Whenever you buy, the price crashes. Whenever you sell, the price jumps up and pumps. That's better. Peppy. Maybe it'll jump here. Maybe it will. Or it's going to zero. But it could jump. Who the hell knows? It's probably eventually. It's a Ponzi meme coin. This thing is probably going to zero, unfortunately. Hate to break it to you guys, but it's probably what's going to happen. But yeah. Well, I mean, if you didn't think we would break 20, then, 15K was not that much worse, I guess, It was annoying, though, because it was at 15 for a while, man. Like, you had a little bit of time to get in. Here, you didn't have, like, too much time, really. Well, I mean, I guess you did, That's the pattern there. What would this look like? It's just like, I mean, I would guess it would probably be more like 2018 rather than... Let's draw some squiggly lines. It's so funny how these anti-TA people always talk about the squiggly lines and stuff and, like, how they're bullshit. But, like, I don't draw squiggly lines, man. Like, I don't... like, what squiggly lines do people even... Like, I mean, I've never done squiggly lines. See, so there, and then that was a big dump at the end. Interesting how... I wonder if there was a scenario where you could have stayed at 6K or something. But, it didn't take my freaking... Oh, come on. That's not that hard then. Yeah, so far that's been just like... So, I mean, this is your case to go back to 20K, which... Sailor's going bankrupt if that happens. That's not going to happen. But, it would be interesting if it did something like... I mean, it's not going to be that, yeah, because this is like the worst... let me look at that again. Yeah, the worst happened like so quickly there. Like, I mean, if you got in here, like probably a lot of people got in at like 10K or whatever, and not too insane. It's just nothing. But then, yeah. I remember those times. It was a dark year, 2018. It's a dark year, I'll tell you. I'm just kidding. But, yeah, I mean, if you were to... Here's where it gets interesting, because it could be mid-26 if you're sideways and then just take away this last dump. You know what I mean? That's 40K. I don't think you're going to go down to 40K by the end of the year, though. So it'll be probably obviously a lot slower. That's too good to be true. Because if it just goes down to 40K quickly, like, I mean, you got a shot of like 10xing your money if this can go down to the 30s or 40Ks by the end of the decade. I don't think you're going to get up to 400K, probably 300K to 300K is probably the most like likely situation by 2020 by 2030, let's say, or whatever. And you with 3 Bitcoin, you probably could get to $1 million or be close to it. You know what I mean? If you had 3 Bitcoin. If you had 300K right now to put in, like you'd probably have a good shot of getting up to 900K, like by the end of this decade. I think. Could be wrong. Maybe it'll be only 200K. Then you'd need, if it's 200K, you need 5 Bitcoin, which, I mean, I don't know if you're gonna need that many. Like I feel like 300K is like a pretty big number. The thing too, and I just want to look at, so let's look at our good old Fibonacci, and we didn't really, we didn't hit from that high to that low. We didn't hit. We broke above the 100. That probably some people thought the 100 was the top, and it probably will be for a while if we do lose it here and it being over or whatever. Didn't quite hit that or get up to the next kind of big thing, the 130. Didn't quite get there. Well, the next one was really the 150. I thought we may get to, but let's do the same kind of technique here. And let's do it from this point to, and this is just guesstimate. Let's say we get down to 48, and then you're looking for your final bull cycle at, I would assume, sometime in 29, 320 or whatever. If you can get up to 320 or 330, yeah. I mean, we could also do this if we, I'm trying to. I mean, okay, I don't think it's going down to 35 would be kind of my low end of where you could, probably a worst case scenario would be 35. And then, it would still equate to something in, I mean, high, I don't think you're going down to 35. I could be wrong. I kind of don't think you're going to go that low. High 2s, something like that. There aren't many coins going northward, man. I'm afraid to look at AVAX. Man. It's probably, 6. I mean, you got a blood. I mean, I've been trying to find, I'm sorry, I was bullish on this. I thought this could break above freaking 30 and go up to 60 or whatever. But now it looks more likely like it's going back to 10, unfortunately. Oh, what's up, Jeffrey? Appreciate you. Shout out to Jeffrey Gaylord. Appreciate the super chat, man. $50 Caroos. I hope you get something out of my videos. I've done well with all that. If you got any questions, let me know, man. Shout out to Jeffrey. So yeah. Let's see if people like scarcity. People want to buy items. There are less of than more. XRP, for example. XRP is like XRP, I got so much hate for just saying it could go to 4 to 6. The funny part is my prediction was too liberal, too bullish, way too bullish. I mean, unless you think we're going to jump up into the, and my prediction was too bullish. And I got hate for being way too bearish. They thought it would go to 12 to 29 or whatever. I don't know where the hell they thought it would go. But it definitely a lot more than $6. So much hate for that. Some of those people are Delulu. Some of them are good people, though. I went to the XRP conference in Vegas. It was a really good time. But look, I mean, I don't think I think it's over, man, unfortunately. I mean, if you lose kind of that low from your, October fiasco or whatever, 80 cents, which wouldn't be that. I mean, that's typical of, I mean, you did make a new all-time high, not adjusted for inflation, but you did make a new all-time high. Yeah, it's 80% down. Typical bear markets. That would be my guess. We'll see what happens. I think a lot more of this like ETF crap now is ETF stuff now is more, sell the news, I would say. That's what I would kind of, say at this point. Let's see. You close the short on 99K. I am shorting Marco. I'm shorting Bitcoin. As you can see, it's a pretty large position. Your boy had the genius idea of taking the money that some of not all of the crypto gains that he made and sold, pretty recently, and put it into a leverage trading account. But your boy also knows how to trade, so it shouldn't end that badly. But anyway, what was I gonna say here? Oh yeah, by the way, guys, if you're interested in trading, here's a new one. I like the bonus options. Deposit 200, get 100 for a lot of you guys. There's some good deposit bonuses if you want to check it out. 20% for fees for life with my link. It's the link that pin chat. Check it out. Links down below. So yeah, and it's called Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be controversy about XRP and all these, but yeah. Everything's already extreme. I didn't even know we entered extreme fear, bro. What? Okay. Marco has been. Shout out to Marco. You've had a lot of good calls over the years. You're a great fan. I really appreciate you, man. I want to hear what you think is gonna happen. So it's not December yet, man. I mean, the last time we ended QT, you went down farther. So, we got to hear. I've been too bearish. We got to hear the bullish case, man. But anyway, let's see. I want to see. Are we in extreme fear all of a sudden? We weren't in. I thought we were just in fear, but no. We're okay. Well, here you're almost in extreme fear. Okay, fair enough. I think you're gonna go into extreme fear, and that'd probably be the place to close out the short. But yeah, I don't know. We could. The website's lagging. Really? Huh, I never had an issue. Weird. I mean, BloFin's good too. 20% off the fees for life. Weird how it's lagging. The stock market is an extreme fear. Okay. So I think the thing with extreme fear here is when you are not going to enter a bear market and keep going down, when you get extreme fear and it goes upward, you keep going up. Or I forget how to explain it, but yeah, I forgot how to explain it. The pattern too is interesting because right there would have been, yeah. Oh, shoot. Yeah, when you enter your email, you don't get. That happened to me one time. I don't know what it was. Could be a glitch. All right. I mean, it's been okay so far. They gave me a nice bonus for depositing a lot of money, so I could trade with some stuff, but, they seem alright. I mean, but yeah, I mean, if it's not working, I mean, BloFin's a fine option. BYDFI's a fine option. But that did happen to me one time. It eventually worked. Maybe try another email. I don't know. That's happened with other exchanges too, bro. That's not just that's happened. That hasn't happened to me in a while, but that has happened with that's happened with a lot of stuff. Has that happened to you guys where you type in your email, you're supposed to get the code and the code never comes? That's happened to me quite a few times. Not just yeah. Maybe another flash crash. That's what I'm thinking, man. Bull end in November, beginning of yeah. It could be your location, bro. It could be. It shouldn't be, but it could be. Yeah, I mean 100K support. Yeah. I don't have no support drawn out, but yeah. You could make a higher low. That would be pretty good. The thing here is so what I could do, I could close this out on probably the hourly or the 90. Yeah, the 90-minute bull div would probably be the place to close this out, I would say. If you get that. Assuming that would be the case for a higher low double bottom situation. Then you could theoretically go back up to 108 from that. So, but yeah, you could be right, Marco, definitely. That could be, yeah. I mean, awesome mystic. That definitely could be the potential. This point right there. Well, I mean, the thing too is like if we want to, I would say the long trade right now maybe would be wait for it, but like yeah, I mean on the 90-minute hourly could try to go long up a little bit. I would be careful. I would be careful, especially I mean we don't know when the betting odds for that damn government shutdown, and I mean we don't even know how much it's gonna pump when that reopens. I mean, because it's already everyone thinks it's gonna already reopen, so it doesn't mean it's gonna pump like crazy automatically. It probably means it'll pump a little at least, but there's a 60% chance this goes on at least another week almost. This could change. We don't know, but you know, I mean, you bet my $27 that let's see. I would bet. I'm curious if 40 cents. It's not that bad. Make two bets here. I'm not gonna do it, but yeah. Jeez, I can't believe you could bet on stuff like that. 17% chance of it. That is scary. I mean, it's a low, but people put that much volume. Okay, they're betting against it, I guess, right? So you could just bet, yeah. Yeah, if I bet it will happen. If I bet it won't, I make $1. Crypto's moving in advance of the stock market. Yeah, I think the stock market will come down. We're probably starting to see that too. Market opens in about a half hour or so. So, I already have this open. Why don't I just look at this one? But big weekly loss. There you go. It's a woman? Yeah, some of these bear posts usually mark bottoms though, so yeah, it's a Singapore, yeah. I don't know. Crypto faces long? Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it definitely with the I do think you'll get relief at some point here. I just don't know exactly when. I'd be, I'd be careful for now. That's what I will say. I'm just waiting for my setups and such, man. I mean, it's kind of, you know. The thing too is if you lose 96, and you're not too far off from 96 right now, it's 76, Then after that, 70, So I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly, but you do, you know. Mm. MicroStrategy keeps bleeding against Bitcoin here. Interesting. Yeah, that's like a free fall. I think if it may be some stuff with Sailor. I mean, who is the big? Elon was the big name in the last bull run. Then he sold. Sailor was still kind of the biggest name in this bull run. I think and then could be something with that. What was I gonna say here? I'm going to look at Berkshire. It's still pre-market, so it doesn't, yeah. Is he up in the pre-market? We got blood diamonds and such. This will come down with everything else a bit, but I think he'll hold up well. Some of the politicians have been buying this. If anyone, what's the website to see what the politicians have or buy or hold or whatever? If you guys have that, let me know. What's the week? I don't understand. The weekly sign. People are a little bit, yeah, I'm just saying. 6:30, you're still, yeah, Zcash. I'm looking for that 2-day. I think it's a little premature to short just yet. I'm looking for that 2-day. Every single video out there is, but really? Yeah, I could see that, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I know we could look at liquidation points, and we should, why not? But 102 there, 98. Yeah, so it's regardless of where price goes, people are getting wrecked based on that. If you look at like the weekly, yeah, there's more higher stuff. So support rally upward. Same with the 3-day. I want to look at like, yeah, if you look at the high ones, because this gets more in the macro. 89 would tell you there's the most there. If we really want to get, funding rates are slightly positive, I think, 89. I think that 89 is going to get taken out eventually. I mean, you got liquidity all the way down to like those 70 area. That's 70. But then again, you got liquidity all the way up to 150K. More people are still going long. I mean, well, it's hard to say, but usually more of the leverage is always going to be more long, if you get what I mean, you know. So, yeah. I really think I've gotten so much better at like investing and trading, you know, over the last 5 years. I feel like I've improved so much in a lot of ways. But still, I think there's a lot more I want to learn in terms of some things, but I am proud of how far I've come, you know, what I've learned and all that. That's coming down MicroStrategy. So, I was been looking at Berkshire versus, I don't know, Triple Q. I mean, up quite a bit. erased a few months of downwardness. You're still up above from 2021, so there is some strength there. So yeah, we'll see. But QQQ in general, you know, I do think looks a little bit. Yeah, I mean, you're losing this point. You could be at 575. You know, the thing for this is, you know, I would say it would be kind of like half as catastrophic as this, you know, maybe like down to here or something, which still would be, yeah, like a higher low on this point, maybe 450, which probably would still be a bad correction, but 20 to 30% down in 2026, I don't know. I would think, you know, 20 to 30% down for this is a really good deal. You know, anything probably 50% down or more for Bitcoin is probably a pretty good deal. You know, right there. Yeah, you're 58. You know. It's Market Cipher, man. Market Cipher. We did have a good, yeah, that's what I think, Awesome Mystic. That's, I mean, I'm in agreement. That's my opinion. And by the way, guys, if you want to trade and all that, you know, check out the Discord down below if you guys are interested in trading or getting a free month in Discord and trading. If you sign up to TapBit with my link, deposit $200, you get $100 to trade with. And if you open a sport ticket in the Discord with your UID or your email, we'll give you one for a month in all Empire VIP Discord. You get 20% off your fees for life. Same 20% cash back on BloFin and BYDFI. Doing some good deposit bonuses here. This goes on another week. So pick your poison. Check them out. Links are down below. But yeah, Market Cipher. So I use Market Cipher combined with a bit of traditional TA, combined with support and resistance, combined with, you know, fib levels, combined with sometimes volume profiles. Am I hearing things? What was that? Oh, okay. Ooh. There's a Twitter space I may want to go to in a little bit, but yeah, I mean, you know, I would try. I mean, if it's really not working, a lot of these, I'll be honest with you, a lot of these exchanges are pretty much the same. I mean, you try a different one. I don't know, try BitFi, try BloFin. I mean, I would go like that, you know. I've had the email thing happen sometimes on multiple accounts and stuff. I don't know why that happens. Sometimes it's glitchy, but I don't know. Anyway, be careful, man. You know, a lot of people get into trading at the end of these bull runs or whatever, and they get effed a lot of hard. And when I say hard, I mean hard. And not hard in a good way. Hard in a bad way. So just be careful. If we do lose this area, though, you're going to 96, I think. The thing with alts, I mean, Bitcoin dominance is still coming up a little bit, so I wouldn't be too optimistic on alts at the moment. I guess at this point, you know, it's kind of like, who knows? You know, I mean, Cardano's down to 53 cents here. That point. So, yeah. I mean, this has just come down since, you know, let's look at this on the 3-day. How much is these have? It's October 25th, they're down 30%, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I hope you get more, you know, upwardness, but it seems it's just the worst case scenario keeps playing out for some of these. I mean, with this area you saw there, and then jump up, and then, yeah. But don't worry, your alts will go down. I'm kidding. Maybe they won't. I mean, you're getting towards that end of QT, so surprisingly, the thing is, what a lot of people don't realize, I don't think, is we can go into a pretty bad bear market here, and some alts, included probably Ethereum, definitely can outperform Bitcoin, unless like the relic ones that are going to zero eventually won't. I don't think, but you know, kind of that situation. I mean, I don't know what'll happen with this. I mean, maybe come back down to these areas. I would assume eventually you can break back above this part, you know, maybe in mid 26 or something. We'll have to see though, because yeah, I mean, let's do a little experiment here. Let me get my calculator out for Bitcoin ETH. So let's say that, I mean, okay, let's say they go down the same percentage, you know, and let's say that that percentage ends up being like 61% for ETH, which maybe that's more of a conservative percentage. Maybe it can go lower. I mean, you made a slight all-time high, and then you did go well below that bull market high. All right, well, that's there. Well, let's say 1800. I don't know. It's tough to say for ETH. I really don't know, but say 1800, and then let's say, you know, 48 for Bitcoin or something. Just a guess. 1800. 0.307. Ooh, that's not a good number. Oh no, it's actually up a little bit. So it'd be kind of choppy, kind of sideways in the next 6 months according to that. And then maybe as you do see the bottom, you know, things do better, I guess. I hope. We'll see what happens though. Anyway, guys, I've been on an hour. I'm going to get going, but really appreciate you guys tuning in. Check out the links down below. And I'll see you guys soon. I want to check out one of these Twitter spaces, but I'll do probably like a voice chat relatively